Hi guys, good day. My topic for today is the great heroes before Trojan War, and it is about Hercules. So before we dig deeper to the story, let me introduce first. So who is Hercules? So Hercules is the greatest hero of Greece, and he was a personage of quite another order from the great hero of Athens, Theseus. So Hercules was born a demigod with incredible strength and stamina. His qualities were those Greeks in general honored and admired, except for unfinding courage. They were not that distinguished. Hercules was the strongest man on earth, and he had the supreme self-confidence, magnificent physical strength gifts. He considered himself on an equality with the gods and some reason. Let's go down to the story. So they needed his help to conquer the giants in the final victory of the Olympians over the brutish sons of earth. Hercules' arrows played an important part. He treated the guards he treated the gods accordingly. Once when the priestess at Delphi gives no response to the question he asked, he seized the tripod she sat on and declared that he would carry it off and have an oracle of his own. Apollo, of course, would not put up with this, but Hercules was perfectly willing to fight him and Zeus had to intervene. The quarrel was easily settled. However, Hercules was quite good-natured about it. He did not want to quarrel with Apollo. He only wanted an answer from his oracle. If Apollo would give it, the matter was settled as far as he was concerned. Apollo on his side, facing this unwanted person, felt an admiration for his boldness and made his priestess deliver the response. So where Hercules came from? Hercules was born in Thebes. He was held to be the son of Amphitryon, a distinguished general. In those years, he was called Alcedes, or descendants of Alcaeus, who was Amphitryon's father. But in reality, he was the son of Zeus, who had visited Amphitryon's wife Alcmena in the shape of her husband when the general was away fighting. So Zeus was quite naughty, as we all know. So Alcmena bore two children, which are Hercules to Zeus and Iphicles to Amphitryon. The difference in boys' descent was clearly shown in the way each acted in face of great danger, which came to them before they were a year old. Hera, as always, was furiously jealous, and she determined to kill Hercules. This is the story before Hercules and Iphicles turned 1 year old. One evening, Alcmena gave both to the children their baths and filled the milk and laid them in their crib, caressing them and saying, "Sleep, my little one, soul of my soul. Happy be your slumber and happy your awakening." She rocked the cradle, and in the moment the babies were asleep. But at darkest midnight, when all was silent in the house, two great snakes came crawling into the nursery. There was a light in the room, and as the two reared up above the crib, with waving heads and flickering tongues, the children woke. Iphicles screamed and tried to get out of bed, but Hercules sat up and grasped the deadly creatures by the throat. They turned and twisted and wound their coils around his body, but he held them fast. The mother heard Iphicles' screams and, calling to her husband, rushed to the nursery. There sat Hercules, laughing, in each hand a long limp body. He gave them gleefully to Amphitryon as they were dead. All knew then that the child was destined to great things. So according to Tiresias, the blind prophet of Thebes told Alcmena, "I swear that many a Greek woman, as she cards the wool at eventide, shall sing of this your son, and you who bore him. He shall be the hero of all mankind." Let's go down to a year later of Hercules. So these are the list of Hercules teachers. So Amphitryon was the chariot driving, Autocolus for boxing, Castor for art of riding horses in battle, Chiron or Centaur, politics, manners, and wisdom, and Eurytus for archery. So Hercules is not just well trained, but also received lavish gifts from the gods of Olympus. He was well equipped with special swords, shields, bows, and horses. Great care was taken with his education, but teaching him what he did not wish to learn was the dangerous business. He seems not to have liked music, which was most important part of a Greek boy's training, or else he disliked the music master. This was the first time he dealt a fatal blow with intending it. He did not mean to kill the poor musician, although he was very sorry, but that did not keep him from doing the same thing again and again. By the time he was 18, he was full grown and he killed alone by himself a great lion which lived in the woods of Oitheron, the Thespian lion. Ever after he wore its skin as a cloak, with the head forming a kind of hood over his own head. His next exploit was to fight and conquer the Minyans, which had been exciting and burdensome tribute from the Thebans. The grateful citizens give him as a reward on the hand of the Princess Megara. So he was devoted to her and to the children, and yet this marriage brought upon him is the greatest sorrow of his life, as well as trials and dangers such as no one ever went through before or after. So, when Megara born him 3 sons, he went mad. So, nabuang siya. Hera, who never forgot a wrong, sent the madness upon him. He killed his children and Megara too, as she tried to protect the youngest. Then his sanity returned. He found himself in his blood-stained hall, the dead bodies of his sons and his wife beside him. He had no idea what happened, how they had been killed. So after what happened, he consulted the oracle of Delphi. The priestess looked at the matter just as he did. He needs to be purified, she told him, and only a terrible penance could do that. She bade him to go his cousin Eurystheus, king of Mycenae, or of Therens in some stories, and submit to whatever he demanded of him. He went willingly, ready to do anything that could make him clean again. So there, when he go to his cousin, he gave him the 12 labors. So these are the 12 labors of Hercules. First is that slay the Nemean lion. Next is slaying the Lernaean Hydra. Third is the capture the golden hind. Fourth is that capture the Ermanthian boar. Fifth is that clean the stables of King Oegus. Sixth, defeat the Stymphalian birds. 7. Capture the Cretan bull. 8. Bring back the mares of Diomedes. 10 is obtain the belt of Hippolyta. 10th is the obtain the cattle of Geryon. 11th is bring the golden apples of Hesperides. And 12th is that capture Cerberus. So those are the labors of Hercules. You can actually read that on slides since it will took too long for me to read those lines. And so after completing this task, Hercules joined the Argonauts in a search for the golden fleece. They rescued the heroines, conquered Troy, and helped the god fight against the Gigantes. He also fell in love with a princess of Isle of Ocelia. King Eurytus of Ocelia promised his daughter, Io, to whoever who could beat his sons in an archery contest. Hercules won, but Eurytus abandoned his promise. Hercules' advances were spurned by Heracles killed and king and his sons, including Iphitus, and abducted Io. Iphitus became Hercules' best friend. However, once again, Hera drove Hercules mad and he threw a fetus over the city wall to his death. Once again, Hercules purified himself through 3 years of servitude, this time to Queen Omphale of Lydia. So that's where the story of Hercules ends. Thank you.